Hey guys, so today we'll be talking about area and perimeter with radicals. So quick review about area and perimeter. So area talks about basically the area within a shape. So inside this rectangle, we're talking about basically all the space filled in this rectangle. And then when we talk about perimeter, we're talking about the black line that, surrounds the rectangle. So the formulas for an area of a rectangle are area equals length times width. So this is the length, this is the width. Or it could be that this is the length and this is the width. It doesn't matter. Okay, so the perimeter, the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we're adding the width plus width, so 2 times this width, so we're this one and this one, so we cover both of them, plus 2 lengths, so this and this side. Okay, now what about a triangle? So let me just color code this real quick. Okay, there. So for a triangle, the area would be the formula of an area triangle. Sorry, the area of a triangle would be base times height over 2. Okay. So what is the height in a triangle? So the height in a triangle is basically this. So from the apex all the way to the bottom of the triangle. So that is the height. And the perimeter would be adding all sides. So the side, this side, this side, and this side. So you add the side lengths together. Adding all side lengths. Side lengths. Okay, great. Now for a circle, okay, there. It would be the area of a circle is pi r squared. And r refers to the radius, so the distance from the center of the circle all the way to any end of the circle. So from the center to the end of a circle. And the perimeter of a circle is actually called the circumference. And this equals pi r times r, or we could write this as c equals 2 pi r, or c equals pi times diameter. The diameter, let's use this. The diameter is basically from the center of the circle to 2 ends of the circle. So from one end of the circle to another end, and it's a straight line. Great. So let's see how we can find the area and perimeter using radicals. Okay, so we have a triangle here. So let's draw a triangle. Okay. There we go. And basically the height of the triangle is √6, and the length of the base of the triangle is 2√3. So we're trying to find the area of this triangle right here. So area. So when we look at the triangle and we see the area formula right here, it's base times height over 2. So area of the triangle equals base times height over 2. Well, the base of this triangle is 2 root 3. So 2 root 3 times the height, which is root 6. So and then divide by 2, right? So, oops, okay. So when we perform this operation, so this is multiplication. So right here is multiplication. Sorry. So we multiply what's on the inside with itself and what's on the outside with itself. So 2 times this 1 is 2. And then root 3 times root 6 is 18, root 18. And then over 2. So we can cancel this 2 because it divides by itself. And we're left with root 18. Root 18 can be simplified further into 3 times, or rather 9 times 2. And this would be 3 times 3. Since there's a 2 here, we group by 2, cancel the 3, put this 3 on the outside, the alone 2 on the inside, and we come up with this as our final answer. So the area of our triangle is 3 root 2. But there's something missing in this answer. So when we find area, we gotta put units squared. So make sure you remember this. So if there was something like centimeters, then we put centimeters over here, squared. So just make sure your answer is written like that to get full credit. Okay, moving on to our second example. So let's say we had a rectangle. Okay, and let's say this side was 4 root 3 and this side was 5 root 6. So the area of a rectangle is length times width. So we do area equals length times width. So this is the length and this is the width. So or either way, length, width, doesn't matter. So we're doing 5 root 6 times 4 root 3. So we multiply numbers on the outside with themselves and inside with themselves. So, yeah. Okay, so 5 times 4 is 20 and 6 times 3 is 18. Well, this can be simplified further into 9 times 2, 3 times 3, there's a 2 there, right? So 3 root 2, bring the 20 down, so 20 times 3 equals 60 root 2 units squared. So this would give you full credit. And that is our answer. Okay, let's look at an example of a square. Excuse my drawing. It's not perfect, but it works. So let's just say that all the sides are same. So say this is 5. So the formula for a rectangle and square are the exact same thing. And the formula is area equals length times width. So length would be root 3 root 5, and the width is the same, so it would also be 3 root 5 because it's a square, so all sides are 3 root 5. Okay, so when we multiply these together, so 3 times 3 is 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 5 is root 25. Root 25 is a perfect square, so it comes out to be 9 times 5 equals 45. units squared. And that is our final answer. Going on to a circle. Okay, so from the center to the end in a straight line is the radius, and the radius of this circle is root 2. So the area formula of a circle is pi r squared. So let's leave this in terms of pi. So root 2 squared. So area equals pi times root 2 squared. Well, this is the same thing as root 2 squared is the same thing as saying root 2 times root 2. Pi equals a. Okay. So root 2 times root 2, we're multiplying things that are inside or within a radical with themselves, equals root 4. Pi equals area. And root 4 is a perfect square, so area equals pi times 2. And we generally write pi after the whole number, so it will be 2 pi. That would be units squared. So that is the area of this circle. Now let's practice finding the perimeter. So starting off back at our first example, the triangle over here, let's find the perimeter of this triangle. So the perimeter is basically adding all side lengths, right? So we can't find kind of solve this without having all side lengths. So let's say this was 2 root 3. Let's say, I'm just making numbers here. They might not add up properly, like to create a triangle, but, just add it, for the sake of this video, I'm just making up random numbers. So 4 root 2. Okay, so when we add all sides, so 3 root 2 plus 4 root 2 plus 2 root 3. Well, we can add these two numbers together. So let's start by adding two numbers at a time. So let's start by adding these two numbers. So 3 root 2 plus 4 root 2. Well, we can add these two numbers because the radicals are the same. So remember, while adding radicals, we don't add what's inside the radicals, but we add what's outside. So 3 plus 4 is 7. And then now that we have this, we can add it with that. So 7 root 2 plus 2 root 3. Well, we can't add this, so this would be our final answer. So this would be 7 root 2 plus 2 root 3 units. It wouldn't be units squared because it's not area. Going on to our second example, which is the rectangle over here. So we're adding the perimeter, right? So the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus 2 times width. So 2 times length plus 2 times width equals perimeter. Great. So we know that the length is 5 root 6. So 2 times 5 root 6 plus 2 times 4 root 3 equals p. So let's start with the parentheses, distributing the 2 on for both of the parentheses. So p equals 2 times 5. So we're multiplying things that are outside with themselves. So 2 times 5 is 10, and then root 6 plus 2 times 4 is 8 root 3. So now we try to add them, but 6 cannot be simplified further, and 3 is a prime number. So this we cannot add these two radicals. So our final answer would be 10 root 6 plus 8 root 3. And that will be the perimeter of this rectangle. Great. So moving on to our square, let's find the perimeter of this. So the square shares the same perimeter formula as a rectangle. So perimeter equals 2 times length, 2 times width. So P equals the length and the width are the same. So 2 times 3 root 5 plus 2 times, 3 root 5. Okay, so multiplying the outsides with themselves. So 2 times 3 is 6 root 5 plus 6 root 5. We can add these numbers together because they are, because the radicals are the same. So on the answer side, it would be root 5, and then 6 plus 6 is 12. And we can't simplify this further, so it would be 12 root 5 units. I forgot to put units here, so make sure you add that. Don't forget it. Okay, going on to the circle. The perimeter, or the circumference of a circle, equals pi times 2 times r, or pi times r times r. Oh, sorry, this should be plus r. And sorry about that. Okay, going down here, so it should be pi times diameter. So our diameter is basically just the opposite. So you're just flipping this line over here and adding it on this side, so which is also root 2. So it should be a circle. So we're saying root 2 plus root 2. So we're adding another root 2. So it would be 2 root 2, right? Or if you were doing it using the other formula, which was pi times r plus r, which is the same thing as saying 2 pi r. So saying it this way, so that would be 2 times pi times r, which is the radius is root 2. So just putting the pi there. So 2 times root 2, it's on the outside, so it would just be 2 pi root 2. In this case, the pi goes at the end, so we just make it 2 root 2 pi. So they're the same answers, and they're just different formulas. So our final answer would be 2 root 2 pi units, and this is the perimeter or the circumference of a circle.